What's up, everyone? And once again, welcome back to Helios Sports World. And right before starting this new video, let me just say that this was supposed to be a full breakdown and preview for UFC 269 featuring me and my boy AC. But the stuff that we filmed, unfortunately, I lost all the footage, and it's been a really stressful few days for me. And so basically, it's going to be me doing another breakdown video all by myself. Anyway, without any further ado, welcome to the new video. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy this. All right, so starting off with UFC 269 this weekend, you have the main event between Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier for the UFC Lightweight Championship. I mean, what an incredible fight. What an insane title fight to close out 2021. And this right here, everyone, this is the title fight that probably is the toughest fight that one could predict this year. I mean, on one hand, you have Charles Oliveira on the back of an incredible performance against Michael Chandler from UFC 262, winning the title in spectacular fashion. And on the other hand, you have the mighty challenger Dustin Poirier, two back-to-back wins over former champion Conor McGregor this year, and securing his title shot right there. Anyway, let's dig a little deeper into this title fight. So, the champion, Charles Oliveira, like I said, on the back of a big title win over former Bellator lightweight champion. And if you go back to that Michael Chandler fight from UFC 262, you would probably get an idea of how resilient Oliveira is, how good his chin is. I mean, in the first round of that fight itself, Chandler almost finished Oliveira. Dubronx survives the first round, bounces back, gets the job done in the second round, wins the belt in spectacular fashion. Now, there are a few aspects about Charles Oliveira's game that could prove to be the difference this weekend against Poirier. The first of which I'd like to point out is Oliveira's jiu-jitsu, of course. Now, Charles Oliveira's wrestling is tremendous, but I think it's his jiu-jitsu which stands out here and could be the difference in this fight. On the other hand, you have Dustin Poirier, whose wrestling is quite good, but Oliveira's jiu-jitsu seems to be on a whole different level. And we all saw what he did to Tony Ferguson when he trapped him in an armbar, but Ferguson, of course, refused to tap out. So that probably gives everyone an idea of how good Oliveira is with his jiu-jitsu and his uh, skills on the mat. So now, moving on to the striking difference between the two fighters, and honestly, I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say this, but it is pretty clear that Dustin Poirier is the better striker between himself and Charles Oliveira, and he's the better boxer heading into this weekend. Poirier's boxing is very clean, it's very crisp, and if you've seen him fight recently, you would know how calm and composed he is during his fights, which I think helps Dustin a lot in terms of landing more cleaner punches during his fights as they gradually progress. If you go back to the second Conor McGregor fight, Dustin Poirier took a few good shots to his chin. However, he was calm, he maintained his composure nicely, he even checked those leg kicks brilliantly, and of course, his brilliant striking is what got him the win eventually.
I think he was prepared. Like he was prepared for that last fight. His striking was good. He was just throwing leg kicks full power, that last fight.
Yeah,
Like he
that,
was
that, that
throwing
fucked him up.
full. Yeah, that does more damage to you because Poirier knows how to check them, dude.
Mm,
Like he knows. So when you check a leg kick, right, you're moving your knee like this, and the other guy's leg is gonna break. If it hits like
mm.
this,
If it hits
like
it.
this is the yeah. Yeah, you should put this in, dude. This is sick. So like checking the leg kick like this. But yeah,
Now, let's just say, for instance, if you compare Dustin Poirier to someone like Michael Chandler or maybe Justin Gaethje from the lightweight division, you could clearly see this difference in composure between them. Poirier, as I said, likes to stay calm and collected, whereas we all saw what Gaethje and Chandler did at UFC 268. Now, I'm not taking anything back from them, I'm not discrediting them, but if you go back to that fight at 268, of course it was entertaining, but you see what it did for Michael Chandler. It further pushed him down the rankings, and especially in terms of a potential future title shot, now he has two back-to-back losses on his record. So, it's just these little things that eventually going to matter the most. So, looking at this weekend, for me, I definitely think that Charles Oliveira is the underdog here. Dustin Poirier has all the tools to win the fight and the lightweight title, of course, but with that being said, Oliveira is more than capable of beating Poirier, and possibly by submission. If the fight goes the distance, I could see Oliveira retaining that title as well. But you also cannot bet against Dustin Poirier not finishing the fight inside 5 rounds. So yeah, UFC 269, Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, and in my opinion, I think the Diamond finally gets it done this weekend and wins the undisputed gold. He came to winning the title back at UFC 242, lost to Khabib, then came back, won 3 big fights, beat Dan Hooker last year, beat former champ Conor McGregor twice this year. So yeah, you could possibly bet on this man to close out this chapter of his career very nicely by winning the belt this weekend. So yeah, let me know who you think wins the main event this Saturday, UFC 269, Oliveira versus Poirier for the lightweight title. Let me know in the comments. All right, so let's move on to the rest of the UFC 269 fight card, and let's do a quick little breakdown here, shall we? I'm quickly gonna share my screen. Um, there we go, and let's quickly go to the UFC website, check out what this card looks like. Just go to the top here, and there we go. Let's start with the early prelim, shall we? I mean, I don't really have much of an idea about. I mean, of course, I know these fighters, but I don't really have dig deep to discuss about all of them. Ryan Hall fighting in the early prelims on the back of a loss to Ilya Topuria. I mean, I'm excited to see Ryan Hall, but I don't know, man. He has definitely lost all that hype that he once had, and I think it's because of that gap that he took for almost 2 years, I think. Anyway, this should be a good fight. Eric Anders. This guy just dropped down to middleweight again. I think I saw him fight at lightweight the last time I saw him. Eric Anders, there you go. Yeah, boy, Eric Anders. Okay. This was a lightweight fight. Light heavyweight, excuse me. Wait, how do I? Yeah. Oh shit. Oh Jesus. To go back again. Hmm. What are the weight classes? Never mind. Anyway, let's quickly go back. So yeah, early prelims. Don't really care much. Call me a casual. I'm not gonna wake up for this. You could see the timings, 4:45 in the morning for us. I'm not gonna wake up at 4:45 to watch these fights. Prelims, I'm gonna tune in for Jordan Wright versus Bruno Silva. I mean, one of the thing that me and AC were discussing the other day was the fact that the UFC, I mean, they should promote these guys, man. They should promote Jordan Wright. They should promote Bruno Silva, maybe. I mean, of course, you have to build these guys up. I get it that they're not really marketable at the moment, but of course, you have to build them up. You have to, introduce them to the casual fan base. Casual fan base. See what I did there? Anyway, the big one here at heavyweight, Augusto Sakai, Taito Iwasa. Always fun to see Taito Iwasa compete. Should be a good fight. I have Tuivasa winning this, of course, simply because his striking is so good. And he's also got a good chin. I mean, how come this guy's not ranked, man? It's just unbelievable right now. He should be ranked. He should probably be ranked at 15 at least. This fight was insane. Greg Hardy versus Tuivasa. He knocked him out. He knocked the pulp out of him. Stefan Struve, did he win that? Yeah, he won that. Spivak. So yeah, I have Tuivasa winning this fight. His striking is really good. As we saw it in the last fight against Greg Hardy. And I just don't think Sakai can hold up the resilience, the sheer power of Bam Bam. Bantamweight fight: Pedro Munoz against former champion Dominic Cruz. Good fight right here. Cruz, excuse me, on the back of a win over Casey Kenny. Let's quickly check it out. Yeah, on the back of a win over Casey Kenny. lost to Triple C the year before. Came back after 4 freaking years, man. Long layoff, but of course, Dominic Cruz looked good in that fight against Casey Kinney and definitely has the tools to win this fight as well. But the bigger story here is, of course, the fact that two ranked guys have been pushed down to the prelims just because Sean O'Malley is competing, is opening the main card, competing on the main card. Anyway, let's quickly go back to the prelims and run it off with this fight featherweight bout. Josh Emmett returning after that big win over Barboza. I think it was Barboza beat his last fight. Or was it? Oh, it's Burgos. I think it was Shane Burgos, probably. Yep. Yeah, Shane Burgos. Wait a minute. Who won this fight? Didn't Josh Emmett win this fight? Okay. Just Google this. Josh Emmett versus Shane Burgos. Excuse me. Yeah, Josh Emmett, a big win for him. So yeah, Danny Gay on the back of a fight against Korean Zombie. Number 9 versus number 7. Should be a good fight. I think Ige could win this, given that it's 3 round and not 5 rounds. He had that big win over Gavin Tucker, knocked him out inside 22 seconds. Then, of course, went on to lose against TKZ, 5 round fight. But then again, yeah, I think Ige will has what it takes to win this fight, as it's a 3 round fight, because we have seen him lose. He's his 5 round fights here. First one against Calvin Cater, second one, of course, against TKZ. So yeah, that's the prelims. My predictions for them is Danny Gay, Dominic Cruz, Taito Iwasa, and I don't know, man. I just don't know enough about these guys to predict this fight. So let's quickly recap the rest of the main card. And we spoke about the prelims. We spoke about the early prelims as well. So we'll just quickly take a look at the rest of the main card here. Once again, I'm going to share my screen. There you go. There's the rest of the UFC 269 main card. Sean O'Malley versus Rolian Paiva. Paiva, of course, looking like the mini Paulo Costa. And yeah, you have Sugar Sean O'Malley returning to action, opening the card once again, pushing down two ranked fighters in his division to the prelims. That goes on to show his marketing. It's brilliant. Anyway, who do I have winning? Sean O'Malley, because I haven't seen much of Rolian Paiva, but from what I've heard, I think he is good on the mat. He's good on the ground. So, of course, if you take down Sean O'Malley, he's going to have troubles on the mat. But if it's going to be a stand-up fight, obviously, it's an easy call. Sugar wins it for me if we're going to stand with him. The last fight was quite good. Chris Moutinho. I mean, all of these fights were good, except the only legit fight that he had so far. Legit in the sense, only ranked fight, only ranked guy he fought so far. He lost. So yeah, I don't know. With a win over Paiva, of course, I'd like to see O'Malley face Adrian Yanez next. That's the fight you want to make. Two big up and comers with great striking, and it's a banger fight basically. Anyway, Sean O'Malley takes this one for me. Moving on, Kaikara Franz versus Cody Garbrandt. Garbrandt's flyweight debut, ranked number 7 in bantamweight, not in flyweight, mind you. Okay, let's check Kaikara Franz. Don't blink. Man, dude fought Brandon Moreno. I don't remember. Wait. Okay, so I don't know, man. This is a tough fight to call. I don't really know how Cody Garbrandt is going to do at flyweight, but given if he wins the fight, obviously he's going to be a big deal in this division, given he's a former bantamweight champion, and I think if he's able to make, if he doesn't struggle too much with the weight cut, he should stick to this flyweight divisions. He should stick to continue in the flyweight division moving forward, and yeah, he could possibly be a title contender in the near future as well. Who knows? Anyway, we'll have to see what goes. How No Love does this weekend at 125. The only thing that worries me here is the weight cut and if he's going to struggle big time with it. Uh, We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, like I said, if he does good, just keep pushing him in this division. Maybe he could possibly challenge for the belt at some point because Cody Garbrandt has the name. He knows what he's doing, and he could, yeah, face maybe Brandon Moreno in the future. Who knows? Anyway, for me, I think Garbrandt wins it. So, the next fight on this main card is, of course, Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibio. I'm gonna share my screen once again, and yeah, let's just get into it. Yeah, Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibio, number 12 versus number 14 at welterweight. What was supposed to be Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards, a heated rivalry. In the making almost 3 years, a fight make in the making almost 3 years. But of course, Masvidal pulls out due to the broken ribs, and we get this instead. I mean, it's a good fight, definitely a good fight, but of course, it's no Masvidal versus Edwards. Anyway, Ponzinibbio on the back of a big win over Miguel Baiza. A great fight that was. If you haven't watched it, I do recommend you go back and check this fight out. Of course, he came back after 3 years. Had that fight against Li Jingliang. Lost to him, unfortunately, in the first round, but then a great performance in this last fight. And Geoff Neal on the back of an arrest. But yeah, um, yeah, had that loss to Neil Magny, had that loss to Stephen Thompson. Did he lose to Mike Perry? We don't know. Yeah, Santiago Ponzinibbio, obviously the favorite here. I do think that Ponzinibbio can win this fight if it's a stand up. If it goes to the ground, Neil might have a little bit advantage over Ponzinibbio. He's good on the mat, but Ponzinibbio is a straight up killer on foot while he's standing up. So yeah, I think Ponzinibbio takes it quite easily. Not quite easily, but yeah, I think he does win the fight. So yeah, the next fight on the main card, the co-main event, women's bantamweight title fight, Amanda Nunez versus Juliana Pena. Amanda Nunez a minus 1,000 favorite to win this fight, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. So the thing about this fight is, I'm sold on this fight. Okay, don't get me wrong. Juliana Pena has done a great job in selling this fight to me. She seems very confident in herself. She thinks she's gonna beat Amanda Nunes. I think we all know what happens, but she has done a great job in making me tune into this fight just because I want to see Amanda Nunes destroy Juliana Pena. But then again, it's a fight. You never know what happens. So yeah, but if you wanna bet on it, don't look further. Don't look further than this. Amanda Nunes, I think, gets it done quite easily, just like she has been getting it done for quite some time now. Let's quickly check her resume, shall we? Last fight against Megan Anderson, 2 minutes all it took. Felicia Spencer beat her. Jermaine Durandamy beat her. Holly Holm beat her. Chris Cyborg beat her. Raquel Pennington beat her. Shevchenko, Rousey, Misha Tate. Just an incredible resume. And I think she gets it done once again this weekend. Should be quite an easy fight. I mean, that's what everyone would likes to think. And I think that's what's going to happen, of course. But yeah, like I said, Juliana Pena, she's definitely done a great job in selling this fight, and I'm definitely going to watch this fight. I mean, usually someone would think, nah, it's just another Amanda Nunes fight. She's gonna walk right through. I mean, she's probably gonna walk right through here once again. But then I'm just gonna tune in just to see the mauling she hands in store for Pena. And yeah, the last fight on the card is Charles Oliveira versus Justin Poirier, the final title fight of 2021. And yeah, like I said, Poirier the favorite for me. I think he probably is going to walk out with the win here, but man, it's just such a close fight to call. You just cannot predict this fight. But yeah, if I had to bet on it, I think I'll just go with Justin Poirier. So yeah, that was the recap and not the recap, the preview and the breakdown of UFC 269 this weekend. The final UFC pay-per-view of the year should be a good card. I mean, there are a few fights on the prelims that you would want to tune in for. You want to tune in for Taito Iwasa. You want to tune in for Josh Emmett versus Danny Ige. The featherweights always deliver, as we know. And of course, the main card. The most exciting fight for me is obviously the main event. I mean, you cannot look past that fight. That's an incredible fight. That's very tough to call. Like I've been mentioning throughout the video. And yeah, final predictions. Dustin Poirier wins the lightweight title. Amanda Nunez retains the bantamweight title. Santiago Ponzinibio, Cody Garbrandt, Sean O'Malley. So yeah, there we have it. UFC 269 this weekend. Let me know what you think of this video. What do you think of this fight card? If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.